So who wants to do a little bit more dosage calc using the IV gravity tubing?
I do.
Really?
Uh-huh.
You want to step it up a notch?
Okay.
Okay, so instead of doing those problems where we have an hourly rate, something in mLs per hour, and then we have our drop set, we can use a division factor, we're going to get a little bit fancier. So say you have an order like this. Infuse 1,000 mLs of half normal saline over 12 hours. And you go to your supply closet and you find this looking at you. So let me get my pointer out. And we want to look at the drop factor. We have 15 drops per ml. Shrink that down. And we'll be ready to set that up in dimensional analysis in just a minute. But let's get all our numbers up there first. We have 15 drops per ml. Sorry. Little m, big L. Don't get that confused. And then we can set it up in dimensional analysis. Let's go to our next slide. Okay, so now we're ready to start it up in dimensional analysis. And hey, Christopher.
What?
Where do we start in dimensional analysis? What do we start with?
The end.
The end, of course. You've heard this enough times. Even a 6-year-old can do this. Easy peasy.
Lemon squeezy.
That's right. Okay, so what we want in our answer, because we're going to stand there with a watch and a bag, we want to know how many drops per minute is going to go in. And apologize, I do not have my fancy stylus today. I only have my big fat finger. But we want all our drops on the top. So we know 15 drops from that picture we saw in the previous slide goes to an ml. mLs is not in the answer. We're going to have to get that to cancel out. So our order was 1,000 mLs, right? It's a lot of mLs, right, bud?
Right.
Over 12 hours. Okay. And now we need to get rid of hours. So we know that an hour is 60 minutes. And that puts our minutes on the bottom, which is where it is in the answer. Now, if you want to get real fancy and keep it clean, I'm only doing it because, like I said, I don't have my fancy stylus, and I want things to be kind of simple. You can do that. But the biggest thing you want to make sure is, did I set it up right? What do we cancel out? Hours? Yeah. And we cancel out mLs because they aren't in the problem. We are stuck with drops over minutes. And that's what's in our answer. So we know we set it up right. Right, bud?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now we can go down here. Let's see if I can change some colors and keep you guessing. Okay. When you multiply across, you're going to end up with 15,000 drops. That's a lot of drops, right?
Uh-huh.
Over 720 mLs. And when I got my fancy calculator out, I ended up with 20.8 drops per minute.
Okay.
Oh, that should have been minutes, not mLs. I apologize.
Mm.
Now, can you count 8/10 of a drop with your eye? If you saw a raindrop, could you say if it was 3/4 or 8/10?
8/10.
No, you can't, can you? When I count raindrops, I only see a whole raindrop, right?
Yeah.
So you got to round up. Now, your sister knows how to do this, but they didn't teach it to you yet in the first grade. Your answer is going to be 21 drops per minute.
Mm.
It is wrong if you put 20.8 because we can't do that. So in that instance, you're not going to round to the nearest tenth. Clear? All right. Any questions, text me. I'm always available. So now let's do another problem for our next trick. We have Ancef, which is an antibiotic. We'll say there's 1 gram and 50 milliliters of dextrose, 5% dextrose, D5W.
I know what an antibiotic is.
You know what an antibiotic is?
Yeah.
What does it do?
It's like a little juice, and it comes from a little temperature thing. You swallow it, and it tastes really bad, but it's really good.
Well, what does
for
it
your
do?
body.
Does it kill all the germs?
Yes.
That's basically what an antibiotic is. You know, you can get it not just in that bad tasting stuff, but sometimes they put it right in a needle and put it in your vein.
Yeah, that's a shot.
Yeah, so that's what we're talking about here. So we have 1 gram of Ancef and 50 mLs of something, anything. The drop factor on our tubing is 20 drops per ml, and we know we want it to go in over, let's say 30 minutes. Sound like a reasonable thing to do?
Okay.
All right. Yeah, I think so too. All right, so what do we do here? Okay, change colors again. Well, we can't use the division factor, so let's start. Where do we start again, bud?
The end.
At the end. GTT over minutes. Drops per minute. How many drops can we count? All right, so let's put our drops on the top. We have a tubing set, 20 drops to 1 ml, right? Okay. Now, we need to get rid of mLs, so we have 50 mLs. Here's where some people get confused. This 1 gram of Ansef doesn't really count because we're not going to really factor that into the problem. What we need is 50 milliliters of something, right? So that's what we're going to get on our problem. So 50 mLs over 30 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Now that puts our minutes on the bottom, so already we're good. Okay, and we can go ahead and multiply that across, right? Let's go back to pink. All right, so we have 50 times 20 gives us 1,000. Oh, forgot to cancel, mLs cancels, and we have GTDs per minute, so that's all good. Okay, and then we have 30 on the bottom. And when we do our division, we're going to end up with 33.3, right?
Does anyone hear you?
It's a video, so they're going to hear me forever.
Oh.
I'm going to be a YouTube star. My lucky break. 33.3. Can you count 3/10 of a raindrop?
1 raindrop.
It's 1 raindrop. We're going to round down, and it's just going to be 33 drops per minute. Voila, you are done. Easy peasy.
Lemon squeezy.
That's right. All right, good night all. Good luck on your test. Bye. Say bye.
Bye.